What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about the fine line between selfishness and selflessness. I feel like we gotta walk, right down the middle, and maybe like at different periods in your life, different seasons in your life, you might be swayed more toward one side or more towards the other side, whatever, or it's like a sliding scale, you know. But I do believe both are important, especially as a man. I think your early teenage years to probably your 30s. I remember when I was younger, a lot of older men and older guys, they love talking about that 30 years old age and like when you're 30. That's always like that big number. And I could kind of see why now. Theoretically, if you start working on yourself and grinding at 20, you know, 30 is about 10 years later. You should have some sort of success, some sort of foundation established, some sort of competence, and you're not a little boy anymore. You're not a young man anymore. You're an adult. You're expected to be of value to the world and produce and give. So we could honestly say probably from 15 to 30, man. I would say majority of those years are years that you're going to have to be selfish. You're going to have to be selfish. You're going to have to only worry about yourself. Unless, obviously, like you had a kid early, you got your girlfriend pregnant or something, you had to take care of your kid. You have a girlfriend and you got to take care of her and provide for her. But for the most part, if you're a single man, you're going to have to be selfish. Because if you're not selfish with your time, if you're not selfish with your energy and the little resources that you do have, you are not going to get as far as you could have and can. I remember when I was younger, there's this saying where it's like, when you're younger, you have time, no money, no experience. As you get older, you might have money and experience, but you'll have no time. So when you're younger, like, you don't have any money, more than likely, you don't have any experience. So you should be using that time to acquire those things, to accumulate some experience, to accumulate some wealth, to accumulate some sort of success, some sort of skill, some thing that you're competent in. If you're just wasting your weekends, you're wasting your weeks, your months, your years, what do you think your life's going to be like when you're 30? Or even 25 if you're starting at 15? That's 10 years. Like, that's a lot of stuff you can get done. In 10 years, the trajectory of your life, depending on the habits, the behaviors, and the things that you are doing, can be totally different. One can be going like this, just stagnant. One can be going exponentially higher. One could be just going straight down. But that's why I say, like, you got to be selfish during that time. Decide, and this is what I'm realizing. Like, this period from 15 to 25, 15 to 30, there are some cases I feel like it'll probably be a little longer, you know. Maybe it might take you 35 or 40. But this period is time for you to try things, time for you to mess up, time for you to fail. Trust me, that failing, oh my goodness, I'm like an expert at that by now. But that's your time for you to do all those things and go through all those things. And you figure out what you want to do, what works best, what rewards you the most, like personally and financially, and etc. What you're good at, what can you do long term, what kind of value are you providing. That's the time for you to do all of those things. You have 10 to 15 years to kind of go through those loops, those hoops, fall, get back up, fall, get back up, etc. But there's also going to be a time where you have to be selfless. Me personally, I believe in helping others when I can. I believe in, you know, just helping people, man. Helping people, doing kind, nice things for people, not necessarily thinking about getting anything in return, not um, expecting, a favor down the line. It's just something that you genuinely do. Just being a kind, decent human being, you know. If you do have kids or a girlfriend or a wife, you're going to have to be selfless sometimes. You're going to have to put them above yourself at times, you know. Maybe, you might have to take care of um, schooling issues, equipment, materials for the classroom, clothing, extracurricular activities. Those are going to be moments where you might have to be selfless. You might have to take less for yourself and put more and pour more into, whoever it is that's important to you, whoever it is. Maybe you don't even know them, just a random person. But I feel like, like I said, there's a fine line between the two, and there will be different seasons in your life where you're kind of teeter and tottering with the two, you know. And I just find like it just feels good. It feels good to help people. It feels good to do nice, kind things, especially when they're genuine and they're coming from the heart, you know. There's good, positive intentions behind it. So that's my take on the line between selfishness and selflessness. I believe heavily early on, there's going to be a lot of selfishness that is required on your end just to be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, make the difference that you want to make, and create the life that you want to have. But, down the line, that sliding scale will move towards the selflessness part. Or you might have periods where you're just kind of going in and out for short term periods and you go back to your selfish ways. This isn't just being an asshole just to be an asshole or whatever. There's purpose and there's reason behind it. So I appreciate y'all watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. And I'm out. Deuces.